The Outer Worlds 2 wastes no time and throws you right into the game. And while it does a good job of giving you tooltips and tutorials for most things, there are quite a few questions that it leaves unanswered and instructions given that might be easy to miss. We've traipsed across Arcadia and come all the way back to Earth to tell you these 14 things we wish we knew that the Outer Worlds 2 doesn't tell you. Right off the rip, you'll create your character. But something that's easy to miss is whether or not you will be able to respec later on during your adventure. The long and short of it is that you'll be able to respec once, and it will be immediately after you finish the introductory prologue mission and see the title card for the game. That means that you'll get to try out your character for an hour or so through the game's tutorials, tweak and change things if you choose to, and then once you lock in your character for the second time, that's it. There's no going back.
Assessment complete.
An important thing to know for this initial respec and stat distribution is that you aren't given many skill points in this game in general, so try to choose a few specific skills that you want to level up strategically. Spreading your points across many skills may lead to most of them being ineffective, as a lot of skill checks at the start of the game require at least 2 or 3 or 4 points in order to activate. When you see the Hourglass logo on an interaction prompt, that's indicating to you how many seconds you need to hold the button down to activate the prompt. It's a bit unclear what this symbol means at first, but you'll see it most commonly when trying to revive downed teammates or when trying to leave and enter the incognito. If you're outside of combat, your healing button will use any food items you've picked up in your inventory first before using your inhaler. You can tell if your next heal is going to be made with food or with your inhaler based on which icon is directly under your health bar. And speaking of healing, every time you use an auto dock, not only is your life bar replenished and your Zeranium poisoning cured, but the number of available inhaler charges on hand is increased too. That makes it a good idea to use any auto dock you see, even if you're not that hurt, so that you can bank those inhaler charges for later use. Just keep in mind that every autodock machine can only be used once. Trauma kits are incredibly useful items to carry. You start with one by default. They can be used as a death defiance mechanic in battle, or you can save them for use when interacting with certain NPCs or completing quests.
She looks fine.
Having a few on hand is a must, so check in with doctors in various settlements and buy up their stock when you can. In a departure from the first game, The Outer Worlds 2 does away with carry capacity limits and weight, meaning you can pick up basically everything you find without worrying about your inventory. Not only does this mean you don't have to worry about if you're going to be able to pick up new and exciting equipment, but you can also decide to pick up the less exciting things too. And then you can make use of them all by either selling or dismantling them for crafting parts. The choice is yours. While stealing and lockpicking is something that will definitely get you in trouble, you can basically access any terminal without reproach, even if the person you're spying on is standing right beside you. You can also use explosives to open locked doors in areas, and if you're already allowed to be in there, no one will bat an eye. Every now and then you might enter a dark and gloomy environment and find yourself wishing you had a torch. Well, good news, you've already got one. Simply press up on controller or L on keyboard to turn it on and off. Much like similar RPGs, The Outer Worlds 2 can be played in first or third person. You can change perspective on the fly by holding down the inventory button on controller or by pressing U on the keyboard. You can also change the camera manually in settings under general, as well as adjust the view distance to near or far in third person. Also, while you're in the settings, if you're playing on PS5, The Outer Worlds 2 can make use of the adaptive triggers on the DualSense. But this option is turned off by default, so make sure you go to your settings and enable that feature if you want to use it. Your companions gain perk points that you can use from the companions menu every 5 levels. You can choose between 2 options for every perk point, and just like with your own perks, any choices made are final. This is different from when you find upgrade kits for your companions, as those modifications can be made from the workbench and changed at any time. Think of the bench system as more of a loadout system, compared to their more permanent level up and perk system. There are a couple dozen different definitions and effects relating to weapon damage, buffs, and debuffs that aren't explained very well to the player. You can find definitions for different buffs and debuffs here, and you can also learn the different damage types. If you want to get across all the different statuses and effects, head to the Journal menu, then Codex, and scroll down to the Symbols tab. Some of the starting side quests on Paradise Island will reward you with permanent equipment upgrades like the ability to double jump or summon an overshield, but if you're not going off the main path, you might not find them. We covered both of these in our 11 things to do first video, so be sure to check that out if you want a step-by-step guide for what to do to unlock these items. But if you just want to know where to start to find each upgrade, make sure you visit the Spire Grove to the southwest of Fairfield, and also complete Delphinia's quest inside the Euphoria Coast Repair Center on the eastern corner of the island. That's about everything that the Outer Worlds 2 didn't tell us that we wish we knew, but if you find something else in Arcadia that we missed, or that other players should know about, let us know in the comments. You can find more help for the Outer Worlds 2 in our expanding wiki, and for everything else gaming, keep it here on IGN.